there, and welcome into the podcast studio. It's my dad, Todd, over there. Hudson here. John on the couch. John's from VO Marketing Pro, which is a direct email marketing business that we direct email market for. Voiceover talents like my dad and I. Could be you. Anyway, we're going to talk about our numbers, how Dad and I did this week with our voiceover income, and then John is going to talk about how the VO Marketing Pro group did. But first, if you want to see videos like this, you can like them. You can also subscribe, and you could ring that bell notification to get updates for when we do these, if you're interested. Anyway,
just so you know, we don't share our numbers to brag. We share it mainly for transparency purposes. I just think that's an important thing for people that are, in the industry, to share their numbers, to share, how they're making their money, what they're making, and we especially want to do that with VO Marketing Pro.
Especially if people are going to be paying you to trust them.
Yep.
And use the things that they've learned, tips and stuff like that.
So that's why we share our numbers. Johnny.
All right. So didn't send out as much this week. If you watched the number section from last week, you'll know why. But we had 31 warm responses, 11 auditions, and 5 jobs reported. So Kimberly Young with 2 from a recurring client, 1 for Lauren Gobus, 1 for Butch McCain, and 1 for Hudson Barsness. So I think that's right, 5. Yep, 5. So that's what we had this week. And spoke with somebody this morning, and they said that they were finalizing a job and hadn't completed it or hadn't reported it completely yet. So those are jobs are reported. We hold off until we know for sure that has come through. So hopefully we'll report that one next week.
Like you said, you guys didn't send out because of Memorial Day and the start of the month.
Start of the month, we cleaned out a database this week. So a couple days.
Sometimes people start, they don't want to wait for the start of a new month. Well, that's not a problem because let's say you get 200 or 300 emails. Well, that can easily be done in a week's period. And
Correct.
it just does not, we spread it out.
Yep.
Joe always spreads it out. Like if you get 400 emails a month, he spreads it out throughout the
month.
The weeks. Tuesday through Thursday typically is when we send out emails.
Yep.
But you always get your amount, and it's not a problem if people join halfway through the month because you have a couple, 3 weeks off, and you can get plenty of emails out in a week's time, so that's not a problem.
Well, and if you think about it, too, we are providing another service as some people might just send them out regardless of what time of month it is and what holidays might be showing up. They might just send out, well, you get this many emails, so blah, here
goes
you go.
out on Monday, Memorial Day.
Yep. It's like you're not getting the best bang for your buck. So we're holding on to those and sending them out at a better time.
Based on the history of what we've seen.
So
do the best.
Anyway, that's just something that we've talked about.
All right there. We did have one person get a hold of us, part of our group. We always say, you can ask questions anytime. Part of the email marketing is also that we're here for you. You're paying us for a service. So don't feel bad. Don't feel like you're bugging us. Don't feel like there's any problems with checking in with us. We'll do our best to answer the question to the best of our ability. We'll do the best to make it. If you have a question or you've got something that you want us to do, we'll do our best to accommodate. We might not always like the answer that we give, but we'll do our best to answer those. So don't feel bad about asking any questions. It's nice to have a group like our team to, I'm talking about from my part, to go and talk with people if I have questions. And I'm sure it's nice to have questions answered. Don't feel there's not dumb questions. Even if you asked it before, don't hesitate. Don't feel like you're taking up our time because especially if you're paying us for us to do that, that's part of what you're getting it, part of what you're paying for. So anyway, just want to make sure that people were clear. We're here for that as well. Ask questions. So.
And can people email you? I mean,
Yes.
if
Yep.
they're if they're
Yep.
new, if they're watching these
Yes.
videos, you can say them. You can ask them in the comment section if you
Yep.
want.
Joe
to,
Barsness at vomarketingpro.com or John Barsness at vomarketingpro.com.
Yep. So
So,
if you have questions, and that's where you go.
Yep.
Demond will have it right here
JOHN.
always.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. He's gonna.
Demond
put
will
up
have it
there.
on the
Got it.
screen. So my week here, 5 warm responses from my direct email marketing efforts. I had 1 audition. And then I got a new client, which was somebody that my dad has worked with before. And he wanted to do a session for $250, and we were talking about doing it on, I think it was Thursday, and he said, "Can you do it today?" And that was Wednesday. Dad and I were at the coffee shop, and so we hustled home, and I got it done right away, which is kind of nice. Didn't have time to worry about it. Anyway, one job booked through direct email marketing, and then I had a $45 job, $150 job, and another $45 job on Upwork, a $5 revision, and then $104.86 from another client on Fiverr. And then Dad was busy this week, which was nice. I did 16 hours of editing for a grand total of $894.98.
Ding,
So
ding,
I
ding, ding,
didn't
ding,
think
ding.
I would be over my goal this week, but that new client really helped me out, and Dad being busy, of course, because I get paid to edit for him. But next week, I'll talk about it because I already know about it. I have a session booked, and it's a big one. It's also somebody that my dad has worked with. It wasn't, both of them weren't referrals. They came to me. I must have marketed to them, obviously, and they got a hold of me and said they wanted a younger voice. So sorry, Dad, move on over.
Yep.
So
It's a good point, not to cut you off there, so finish up but in a second, but it's a good point. We have 18,000, let's say, in our database, and we have people that we consistently get in front of them for lots of different people, and it doesn't hurt you to have other people, a female, a British accent, Spanish accent, a younger voice, just a different
Pitch.
voice. Like, I mean,
Tone.
you just take, for instance, like our friend Bill DeWeese. His voice is very different than mine. Do we sometimes cross over and compete for the same jobs? Yeah, because we're middle-aged men, and so we fit into that category. But it doesn't bother me at all because A, there's plenty of work out there, and B, I'm always marketing. So if Hudson gets a job or somebody from VO Marketing Pro gets a job because I can't fit the bill, I'm happy to.
Well, they might
see
come, they
people
might
do
come
that.
back to you or me. They might come back to you and they say, "Well, we don't want to use Hudson because his voice isn't mature.
Yeah,
we want that's
right.
that's what the script notes or the job title is.
Yep.
They're looking for a
Yep.
Yep.
So
Mature,
many different voice needs out there. So I'm
Yeah,
glad
so
that you got it.
That was my week. 894.98.
And 750. Sorry, I think I should.
That's all right.
750 already booked.
Yeah.
That's your goal. You already got that booked in one session for next week.
Yeah,
So
it's
everything
wild.
else is gravy.
Yeah,
which
it
is
is.
sweet. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And this will be 3 weeks in a row you've met or exceeded your goal.
Yep. Happy about that because there's been plenty that I haven't met. So
All right, my week was just a 3-day week. I got back on Tuesday after a long holiday. I took a little bit longer holiday and visited Becky's family over in Michigan. And my numbers were Fiverr, $991.80. Jonathan and I keep talking about whether I need to lower my prices, and I'm kind of on the verge of doing that, maybe down to $45 for 100 words or 40, we'll see. And my direct email marketing was $3,439.58 for a grand total for 3 days of $4,431.38. $4,431.38 on a 3-day week. And one of my clients, a Finnish client, not getting finished, but Finnish from Finland.
Finland. Yeah.
I just worked with them last week in a session, and they hired me for another session
Nice.
on Tuesday. So
They
that's
weren't
always
finished
nice.
with you.
They weren't finished with me. I'm always pleased with that, and that's why I encourage you and others when you get recurring work. It's not only more money, but it's also saying something. They like you. They want to keep working with you. And that's a huge thing. That's why we call it gold, because
And you
it's
don't
more
have
money,
to-
but it's
yeah.
also, you don't have to market.
You don't have to
It's-
market to them
yeah.
sometimes because they just keep coming back to you.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, all from us here at the VO Marketing Pro, HBVOT, and TBVOT land. So if you're interested in more videos like this, you can hit the bell notification and subscribe. We do these videos every single week. We track my progress, Dad's continued progress, and then the VO Marketing Pro group. And if you want to go back, they're all in the voice-related folders, Todd's tips and numbers. You can go back and see some of our first videos if you want to, if you can handle it, and you can see where we've come from and stuff like that. So check those out. And the 61st episode of the original Father-Son voiceover podcast, which is more laid back, just kind of for fun, that'll come out Wednesday. So we'll see you later.